Hello everyone, my name is Jessica and welcome to my 2020 July bullet journal setup video. The end of June and the start of July has been very exciting but busy for me as we have a new foal at the farm. I wanted to do a bright and positive theme, so I decided on watercolor watermelons, which also seemed fitting as it is World Watercolor Month. To start, I mixed Quinacridone Rose from Daniel Smith with some Naphthol Red from M. Graham to create a warmer toned pink. I used my size 4 Princeton Neptune round brush for the majority of the painting on these spreads. I found it very helpful at the beginning to have my watermelon shapes drawn out before adding the pink. For the watermelon rinds and leaves, I used Sap Green from Daniel Smith, and I added the seeds with Neutral Tint from M. Graham. I chose a quote by E. E. Cummings for this month that reads, "The most wasted of days is one without laughter." I used my Tombow dual brush pen in N25 for the larger lettering, and my Kelly Creates Dream pen in Coral for the smaller words. I used my Tombow again to letter July, then I used my fine POSCA paint pen in gold to add an outline to my black lettering. I used my Staedtler Fineliner in 23 for the pink smaller text. For my monthly calendar spread this year, I lettered July as large as possible with my Tombow and the days of the week with my black Pentel sign brush pen. I used my Pigma Micron 005 to outline my calendar, the Kelly Creates Dream pen in Coral to create the pink header row, and my Tombow dual brush pen in 195 for the green. I swapped my size 8 Princeton Neptune round brush for the watermelons on this spread, and then I used my size 4 to help blend the green of the rind to fade it into the pink. It was at this point in this monthly setup that I realized I had somehow picked a very intensive theme to create, but I'm very happy with how bright and summery the outcome was. I used the same technique on these watermelons, focusing on letting my paint pool a bit and leaving white highlights. My next 2 pages are my gratitude log and my brain dump or ideas page. I started by lettering gratitude and ideas with my Pentel sign brush pen in black, as I wanted to paint around them. I numbered my days with my Staedtler Fineliners in 23 and 550 to mimic the calendar page. I then used the same methods to paint a watermelon behind ideas and 2 pieces besides gratitude. I outlined these titles using my gold Pilot gel pen, as they are a bit too small for the POSCA pen. I always love returning to these spreads at the end of the month, as they often look the most chaotic by the time they're filled out. The next spread I completed was for my monthly finance tracking. I've been modifying this spread every time I plan, and each time I set it up, I feel like I'm closer to what makes sense for me at the time. Right now I have a space for fixed expenses, variable expenses, subscriptions, savings, and income on the left page. The right page I dedicate to variable expenses, and it is how I track how much I've spent total on variable expenses at any point in the month. At the end of the month, I summarize how much I spent in each category and my net total after income and expenses. I find it very helpful to also have expected totals for each item or category at the start of the month. I used my Pigma Micron 005 to outline these tables, my black Pentel sign brush pen for the titles, and my Staedtler Fineliners in 23 and 550 for the subheaders. This spread definitely felt like it took the longest to complete, especially with how many watermelons I added. My first couple watermelons had a bit too much Naphthol red mixed in, but once I added the seeds and highlights, I don't think it was too noticeable. For my habits and mood tracker this month, I wanted to mimic what I did for my previous 2 months. I created my mood tracker so that I'm filling in color that should blend in with the outline I create at the beginning. I once again added calendar stickers for the habit tracker as my hands do not like me when I handwrite them. I painted the watermelons first so that the calendars had some color going underneath them as well. For my mood tracker, I did simple green and pink outlines, really allowing the paint to pool, and after filling out a few days, I'm already really happy with the outcome. One thing I wish I did was add the seeds in an archival ink, as I'm having to avoid coloring over them with my markers as they reactivate slightly each time. Once my calendar stickers were in, I used the Kelly Creates Dream Pen and Coral to highlight the days of the week. For my first weekly spread this month, I'm using a layout that I used throughout April, May, and June. I find this layout to be very helpful for tracking tasks as they come up and for allocating when I'm going to complete a task. The left page is dedicated to categories, typically work, business, and home-related items, and the right side is my weekly overview with space for events and tasks. I used my Staedtler Fineliner in 23 to create divisions between the categories and days, and my pink Pentel sign brush pen to letter July in the tiny calendar on the top left. I wasn't too worried about using saturated colors for the days of the week, as I knew I wanted to use black lettering on top. I created tiny swatches for the category labels and for my next week header before I used my Pentel sign brush pen to label the days of the week. I went back after to add highlights on the text like I did to the seeds in previous pages with my Gellyroll pen. Overall, I'm very happy with the bright colors in this setup. If you'd like to see more planning and art content, including additional planning and art videos, you can follow me over on Instagram at Blue Creek Print Shop. If you don't want to miss more videos, make sure to follow me here on YouTube and hit the notification bell to be notified of new postings. Thank you for watching.